Hey everyone, we're back with the Great Ace Attorney. Last time we got started on case 4. Yeah. Okay, so we met with the inspector, told us to go check out the crime scene in the prison. We're going here first because I'm waiting. Maybe, just maybe, we might get a detention center theme that rivals Jailer's Elegy. Let's see. Okay. 19th of February, local prison, cell 9. These are British prisons. Oh, they're ghastly. Feels just like a dungeon. Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, oh yeah, I can assure you that our wooden cells are a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, that's probably true. Oh, don't, Mr. Naruhodo. You're making it seem worse. Apparently, our client is in this cell here. So dark at the back there, can't make him out. Wonder what he's like. It's just Edmund Dantes. Inmate 53! Your legal representative is here to see ya. Stop idling in the back of the cell. Show your face at one. Am I? It's a man, right? Am I a cat as yet with no name? Calling me by a number. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. Mr. Naruhodo? What? What do you think is going on here? I have no idea. Wasn't just hearing things, was I? I think there's a cat back there. A tirade of complaints? Japanese, okay. It's Hosonaga. Oh no? Oh, mustache man. Are you a reference to something? Shh, quiet. They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening, even now I can sense it. Right. I ask you exactly. There you are! Come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. A ghost? You mean you no harm, prisoner-san? Are you Japanese by any chance? This is beyond my wildest dreams. Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. We're just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it! Hold on, I'm just checking OBS. I've had too many technical difficulties lately. I'm good, right? Yeah, okay. Anyway. Imagine it! It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown. Here I am in a frightful fix in a foreign land. Is this his theme, I guess? Or is this the prison theme? So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was I love his anime eyes. Most monumentally moving moment, MMMM. You have to pause for MMMM. Who could have guessed that this new client Lord Strongheart assigned turned out to be a fellow Japanese? Ah! What compassion my fellow countrymen show! To dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never failing, Nihon! And then NFN. I guess there would have been a lot of, Japanese people over here at that time. Like the whole Meiji era. Send people over to, copy stuff. A first-class lawyer? Oh dear. There's something of a misunderstanding here. I wonder, would you be so kind as to tell us what's happened? Or even detained as a suspect, for example? Yes, I can, I will. Change, stay solid and silent. The SSSS. Not quite sure I understand what he meant, but he seems happy. Yes, he does. Toby actually has a good reason to. Thank you for your cooperating. I'm a lawyer, as you said. My name is Yunosuke Naruhodo. Okay, it's only now bothering me. My pop filter is in the way. I want to move. Ah, no. I want to move it without taking my whole microphone down. Good enough. But now it's kind of in the text box. Oh my god, this is gonna be the death of me. There. I'm Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Sadaruko Koban. I am a visiting student sent here by our government. I don't know enough historical Japanese people. Who are you? Like Dazai. I know Dazai's name. Notably, notoriously named Natsume. Soseki Natsume. What profession are you? Yes. Soseki Natsume-san? An unusual name. Call me Soseki because I'm a poet, you see? A writer of haiku. I'm looking this up. See, I don't want to Google his name because I'll get the spoilers. Japanese poets. Meiji era. Natsume Soseki, that is a real person. He's best known for his novels Kokoro. Oh, he wrote I Am a Cat. I've heard of that one. Okay. I haven't read that one, but I've heard of it. Basically, just off his first line of dialogue, where he's like talking about the cats and stuff, he sounded, you know, literary. So I figured he was an author. But you know, poets are pretty much authors. Something about nom de plume. I don't speak. I assume that's French. Nom de plume? I mean, an alias? That's right, Naruhodo-san. No! Don't be so prosaic! It's much more refined than that. Haiku? I think it reminds me of home. Did I hear you say you were a visiting student sent over by the government? Oh wait, hold on, I want to see. Was there real Soseki Natsume? Early years. Been in the first Tokyo middle school. That's now Hibiya High School. That's apparently still in business. Apparently in 2005 it was being referred to as the best public high school in Japan. That's anyway. Oh yeah, in 1900 to 1902 he was in the United Kingdom. He was Japan's first Japanese English literary student. How about scholar? Sorry. How about that? Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go and study English. First, I had to suffer that misery. Now this, it's beyond the pale. Suffer that misery? Do you not want to study here? No. I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh. But just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean you can do it. No. What do you mean? If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That's my field. But I didn't know. They told me to study the English language. Utterly unbelievable, unjustly unreasonable. You. I see. Only the other day, I was told to send a report about my first year here. Tendered a blank piece of paper. Why these words on white washi? Washi? They can't force that one off. I assume washi's like the Japanese word for paper. He must be a man of great standing. Oh yes, so I'm often told. Hold on, I want to look at his Wikipedia article some more. The 2 years I spent in London were the most unpleasant years of my life. Among English gentlemen, I lived in misery, like a poor dog that is strayed among a pack of wolves. Okay, and, sounds like he had a great time there. Spent most of his days buried in books. I spent his fears he might be losing his mind. He lodged with John Henry Dixon at Dunderack Hotel. That name is not in blue, so I don't know if he shows up later, like earlier, or if it's just a random guy. I don't recognize the name. Born in 1903. Lectureship in English literature. Plays some guy. Hopefully he became a professor of English literature at Tokyo Imperial University. Okay. I often like to be told, it seems. An accusation against you. Can you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Soseki? So, the fact that he's Japanese kind of, might tie into the whole, like, whatever's going on with Kazuma's mission thing. Like, probably related to why, Giselle Brent killed Professor kind of thing. Like, there's an overarching story here, definitely. I didn't do it! I didn't commit that atrocious murder! Murder? Oh, no, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes. Before your eyes? I mean, you saw the attacker? That'd be too easy. I didn't see anyone. What? I'd seen the person who did it. You think I'd be locked up in here? Oh dear, seems this case is becoming rather complicated. Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient. Is he doing different poses every time, or are they the same poses? So Seki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. Vital that we find out more about the case. It was an accursed evening, just after the snow started to clear, heavy with fog. Went to the bookshop to buy some books. I was on my way back to my accursed lodgings. Heard the bookshop wasn't accursed too. As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I might got the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman, wearing a green overcoat she was, just as I went to overtake her. She suddenly let out a little scream, collapsed under the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. How terrible! I love this guy's expressions. I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. GGGG. But I tapped on my team in League of Legends. I win. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran. Stretched my legs would carry me back to my cursed lodgings. I didn't even check on her. See ya. That's not good. No, this thing is shameful, I know. Ran away like that. Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours? Don't be ridiculous. You think I know any of these fair-haired English? A young woman at that. I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people. AC. Young woman unknown to Soseki-san. The time it happened? Who else did you see nearby? Did anyone pass you? Regrettably. Apart from myself and the woman? Oh. I didn't see a soul. The victim was unknown to you. There's nobody else in the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? A conundrum. Well, like, he said he saw your silhouette, so like, it's like London is always foggy, right? So someone could have been hiding in the fog. Easy. Or someone threw the knife. Conundrum. Well, that's a little unrealistic, but... What do you mean, Susato-san? What's the conundrum? Well, if what Soseki-san has just told us is true, something I can't explain. Since he didn't know the victim, and there's no one else at the scene. Or she stabbed herself. Case closed, Your Honor. He apparently fled without having been seen. I did. That's the case. Surely this man has to be the culprit. You! What did you just say? No, I thought it. Nothing, I didn't say anything. I thought that a little loudly. Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What was I thinking? What I was thinking was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested? Sorry? Like, yeah, how did someone know he was at the scene? He didn't touch the victim? Nobody they seemed to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place? Oh, yes. Right. It was him. That accursed great detective. Let the police to me. But I assume Wilson has some kind of forensic equipment. Of all the bad luck. Person, great detective? Could it be? I'll never forget that man's name as long as I live. That's haughty laugh at his self-proclaimed greatness. Rash, big-headed, busybody, be gone. May you be cursed until the end of your days. Herlock Sholmes. Still don't know if the German pronunciation is any different. I knew it. Also, BBBB describes what happens with take 2 moon cancers in FGO in one part. I don't know. That was forced. There's a character in FGO called BB. 2 of her. Mr. Sholmes? Herlock Sholmes. Well, didn't expect to hear that name from lips, that's for sure. It was the morning after that nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst through the door. They started shouting at me, "This is the police! Put the weapon down!" Oh, Maeve was there. That's another fake reference. Well, that's an Irish mythology reference. There's a character named Maeve. She got killed by cheese. Yes, it was a thin sliver. Yes, it was hard. But I wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting dietary discrimination devils. DDDD. That's the name of the anime that aired recently. It's also a manga by the guy who wrote Pun. That might be DD. I haven't read it. Well, I read like 1 chapter. Really had a trying morning yesterday. And there he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like the Cheshire Cat. That Herlock Sholmes. Was Alice in Wonderland written yet? Alice in Wonderland. 1865, okay. I thought it was a little younger. It's actually just Herlock Sholmes. He's English. I've since found that he's a famous name in detection here in London. Yes, the great detective is really very well known. His overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts, apparently. He thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman. This weak, stooped kitten of a man. Wonder what great deduction process led him to his conclusion at this time. You mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? He probably confessed. That would be really most unreasonable. Well, thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in. Of course you were. It's only natural. I was terrified and trembling. Kept throwing question after question at me in impossible English. Fiendishly foreign film flavory FFFF. That's the name of the new Final Fantasy. I don't know. Well, we are in England. Can't really blame them for questioning you in English. Good point, good point. But my mind went blank. I knew I had answered. Didn't know what to say. I just kept repeating things like, "Yes, I do," and "I'm fine." That works for Apollo. Next thing I knew, I was in Jack Manacles. Or I knew it, I was thrown in here. Oh dear. Friend, why are they surprising? I'm fine? Not fine now. Just keep yelling it. You got your, what's it? The cords of steel. Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Oh. You just call me Naruhodo. When we're speaking English, a simple mystery is more. Oh, yes. Alright, yes. Really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind. But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? No. End of case. Why? Why is it hard to say yes to me? Well, the thing is, a student like yourself on a study tour. A student? I've defended a case in the Old Bailey. Only the one, though. At this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means. Oh no, your hodos. I mean, that's not reassuring to tell the guy who's relying on you to save him. Not even the foreign student who's supposed to be here. Yeah, that he really shouldn't be hearing this. Sort of locum? Lawyer, I suppose? Locum? That's not a real word. We're looking this up. Locum. Something means something like pseudo. Person who temporarily fulfills the duties of another. Okay. That's not a real word though. What? But that armband? It's the market of a defense lawyer from our great empire. I forgot to present it. The keepsake from the man who should have been here. Is my best friend. A keepsake? I know exactly what they're saying about me. Oh, who do you mean? The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers. They won't defend me. Goodness, but why do you say that? For the same reason as you noted before. When it happened, there's only the victim and myself around. I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit. It'll be very hard for you, Saki-san. Anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them. Somebody not to be trusted. I really hope we actually get a W this case, right? He's like, you know, case 1, they got away. Case 3, well, he got away with it before being burned. Case 2, I mean, Kazuma died, so that's not a W. But here, we can set this man free. And, you know, find the real culprit. Well, what if he's the culprit? Or alternatively, he gets found guilty and put to death. That would be too cruel. Heard them openly laughing about me before, in my earshot, without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said. Of course the foreigner did it. They even had the gall to say, the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway. It's awful. They're wrong. Studying more English than half the policemen out there on the streets. Traveled halfway around the world, learned about these people's country and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So, at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through. Saki-san, just that. Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can, for the time being. What do you mean? I'll investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. We can find some clues. They'll give us a much better chance, I'm sure. Oh yes, thank you. I'll be here, all alone, waiting for you. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You should be going then, Naruhodo-san. I have a case to prepare for. Okay. I assume we can come back here and send stuff to him like, oh wait, hold on. Finally! Yes, the symbol of one of our great empire's first-rate lawyers. Which means, of course, you'll stand by my side. You'll defend me. That wasn't why I was showing it to you. I just like showing it off to people. Why else would you show me that? I'd say that probably wasn't the best idea. Okay. Briar Road. Show him in there again. Wonder what awaits us. 19th of February, Briar Road. Wonder if like this investigation segment is going to be a little more open-ended. Because I know like they've really railroaded investigation bits ever since Dual Destiny. Like, I'm not too bummed about, but like, it would be cool to see it come back in full force again. Just being lost, having nowhere to go, not knowing you have to examine that bowl of noodles on the ground. I got stuck there in Apollo Justice for a long time. This is where it happened. Briar Road. Oh, look, Mr. Naruhodo. Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. Yeah? The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. Oh, I had a wild moment last night. I mentioned before I was reading The Viaduct Murder by Ronald Knox. In chapter 3 they mentioned Scotland Yard. I was like, yo, that's from Ace Attorney. That's a reference to Ace Attorney. Hold on. My mom just texted me. She said, like, she didn't even, it's not a full sentence even. She said, name of show that was killing everyone and the old man won. And spoilers, I believe she's talking about Squid Game, but that is, the old man did not win. She didn't watch Squid Game. I did. It was a good watch. That is their job, you know? My sister was really into it. She's always talking about, like, season 2's gonna come out. I'm like, oh, cool. Mr. Naruto, I see one with my own eye. I often depict in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Never dreamed I'd come this close. Did they actually dress like this back then? The nerds. Hurry up, Bobby's helmet. What? The helmet? Of course. You have to try one on one day. And your happy dreams come true. Hello. What's the Japanese delegation? Oh, Inspector Gregson. This isn't one of the tourist trailers. I'm fairly sure you're well aware. Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. So you've been to the holding cells then? What do you make of the criminal? I wonder if you don't go there first, do they just send you there, or can you do them in either order? He's not a criminal as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. We'll see about that. The Japanese like to stick together, suppose. Well, do what you will. Doesn't bother me. Bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens. Verdict's a foregone conclusion. I need to sneeze, but I can't. Stone cold air of rejection. Take heart, London at this time of year is full of stone cold air. That makes it worse. Okay, let's... The Daily News? Oh, you know, in the Viaduct murder yesterday, they mentioned the Daily Mail, which... Is that the same one? That's like still a newspaper nowadays, right? I saw that, I was like, oh, that's weird. They kept going, huh? Like, you'd think they'd run out of news eventually, but it's a Scotland Yard carriage. These vehicles like that are crushed to crime since they cut away criminals. Very well. But a dream of mine to ride one of those. Yeah. The only way, help me find a good stone, okay. Oh wait, well, hold on. Look around. No ladder in sight. There hasn't been a ladder this entire game. I've been looking for one this whole time. Oh man. Little socks. What a delightful snowman. I realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen. A little creepy though. There's a scarf, look. You didn't want to fury out in the freezing cold all the time. Oh. Do you think snowmen are something that they always made in Japan, or do you think that's something like, because the idea of just making something out of snow isn't that odd to do, right? Like, did every culture make snowmen? History of snowmen. We're looking it up. Bob Eckstein, author of The History of the Snowman. Oh, there's a whole book on it. Documented snowmen from the Middle Ages by researching artistic descriptions in European music. Earliest documentation was found in an anti-Semitic marginal illustration from the 1380 Book of Hours. Okay. Or I'm looking at the earliest snowman ever. Oh, that's the earliest photograph. Concept made its way to North America in 16. So, were snowmen a cultural import though to Japan? Is what I'm asking. You need one if you're out in the freezing cold. Talking about scarves? Our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment too. If they can't afford a scarf, we're lawyers. We should be rich. Really, the snowman here will miss his. The person who made the snowman certainly would. Yes, I know you're. Anyway. What if I borrowed it? Wouldn't do much to warm mine now. Covered in snow. Hello, boys. One of the officers. Wander too close will be clapped in iron. Perhaps you're being a little overcautious. Done nothing wrong, so I have no cause for concern. Not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what's going on. Well, you know, third time's the charm. Oh, we can't have... Fetch a payment must be where the incident occurred. Very wide open space, isn't it? See anything where an attacker could have been hiding. Oi! What are you foreigners doing here? Oh, his name's actually Bobby. Just get spying with that mustache fella from Japan, are ya? Spying? Come here to destroy evidence, have ya? Get out of here before I give you an item. Go on. Shoot us away like rats. Yes, we should give him a wide berth. What a disappointing experience. Berth can also describe a bed in like a train or a boat. I know that because I googled it last night while reading the Viaduct Murder. I don't know train terminology. Oh, British bicycle, look. The wheel is so misshapen, sure couldn't possibly fit in there. Oh, we'll spend doing some breakneck cycling. Bicycles will become extremely popular in London. The movement to change women's dress to leather they ride as well. Bicycle fad won't last. See why anyone would want to ride something like... Is this the stepladder joke of the game? Goodness, do you dislike bicycles? No, not at all. Like I dislike them exactly. But any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. You ever tried walking at stilts and falling into a river? Don't you agree with me? Has he done that? Yeah, your bicycle sometime. Sit behind me while I ride you around. Watch out, they'll be illegal in Japan in like 100 years. Yeah, they're typical old brick building, isn't it? There's a long and interesting history. Like it's deadly worship in the other houses at Strand Street. Let's find some cheap lodging ourselves as soon as possible. Cheap, but ideally with real level 4. This is called Briar Street, right? Do you think that's a reference to Baker Street? Who knows? Bricked out. Are there windows? Filled in with bricks. Wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment. Smoke coming from the chimneys though. Oh dear, everything still feels very foreign. So much we have yet to learn about this place. Wild guess? Insulated? I don't know why they'd be bricked in. Grand Street. Oh? Oh? That looks. Oh, I thought it was the building. So big and heavy in the sky, don't they? That's fog as well, everything looks hazy. It is known as the foggy London town. Yes, see, I told you guys. They got some sort of spire through the fog. Look, it's still being built though. Oh, is that the Crystal Tower? Yep, okay. Open in 6 months' time. Just in time for the final case of the second game, I bet. Apparently it's going to be very striking. Placed on all sides in the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition. It'll be the largest exposition in history, is it? Can't even begin to imagine. Because I doubt we're going to get a 6-month time skip for 1.5. Do I have anything to do besides talk to the inspector? Doesn't look like it. What? Did I? Thought I saw something. Guess not. Okay. How far are we? 34 minutes. Okay, we're good. Hello. Jesus. 3 dialogue option. Tell us about the Scotland Yard, Inspector. Since I read about it in the book, I've been fascinated by the place. The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, man. But you know, I dreamed of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. It does make them look the part. And that policeman there, his helmet on. Shouldn't they get the sense that man is willing to take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city? Also, he can ride that bicycle home without putting on a bicycle. Doesn't he look wonderful? Been to London, Bobby. It's hard going, I can tell. Oh, really? Have we seen that expression before? The surprise look? First thing in the morning, you know what he does. Goes around and rouses all the laborers on his beat. Get off to work. What? Wakes people up? Yep. Raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself going back a bit. Is this a real thing that happened? They were alarm clocks? I had no idea. The Bobby works for the people of the town. Another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets. All day long. It's to cover 20 miles a day. The regulation is. Can't really imagine how far that is. Sounds like a long way. Let me see. Yeah, convert miles to kilometers for me. Approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. On foot? It's definitely taking things a step too far. When it gets dark, of course. He has the important job of lighting all the gas streets. Oh my. Suppose in between all of those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well. And chase after criminals trying to evade the law. I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly. Or alongside. But yes, so what's actually happening is all the other Bobbies are pushing their work onto Gregson. So he's doing the work for all the police officers in the city. They're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keeling over. Time I admit. I always dreamed of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart. So I relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruto. Heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. Not the case. Deputy found in the evening, 2 days ago. Just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, stabbed with a blade from behind. Think right that the lady is still unconscious now? I'm sure she's being treated in hospital. First that she's a lady. Truth is, that she comes around pretty smartish. Won't be able to find out much about her at all. Suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Yeah, it's weird that they're rushing it. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have. Take it if you want. Sure. Yard policy to give lawyers to defendant suspects the bit of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. Local map has been in. Anyway, take a look at that. Briar Road. Oh, look at that building. There's blind. Here's Comp Street. Calabash Road. X. You probably don't need a magnifying glass. I assume this layout's going to be very relevant. Like, for example, look, she got stabbed right next to an alley. That's probably relevant. As we know, there's no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow country. So who did it, do you think? How much of a head scratcher is it? Well, Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else, but just because he didn't see anyone. Wait. I mean, the only reason they know that is because of his testimony, isn't it? And probably because, like, Wilson's super cool invention that attacks people or something. Or maybe he just left a bunch of breadcrumbs to his apartment. Like he was eating a sandwich at the time and doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. Sorry to have to tell you. Most certainly can be sure. How? Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. Oh. I feel like there's something kind of my throat. What? We have two very reliable witnesses, no less. Ah. Better not be ladies first again. It's a typical foggy London day. Your client obviously didn't see them. Witnesses now. Witnesses. Who are these witnesses, Inspector? Fellow and his wife. Man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. The Copper from Scotland Yard. Ah! A policeman? That might change things. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked? I mean, so he has a, you know, a government job. The big old government conspiracy. Put two and two together. Nothing peculiar about that, man. Part and parcel of being a Bobby. Catching them banging the acting hall. It might be possible to ask that policeman a few questions. Be my guest. Ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh. No doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. That's that then. Got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. Policeman witnessed the incident. Judicial assistant must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed. Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, could have warned me of that too. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector. Why? The person who led you to the suspect, I think that was Mr. Sherlock Holmes. What are you bringing him up for? Something I said? Color is drained from his cheeks. Mario's trial. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. You can defend him or not. Well, don't wishy-washy on that. Makes no difference to me. I'll just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt will touch that case with a barge pole. So the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? No way to save the man. Waste of time trying. It's all a bit strange, though. Sorry? The Reaper hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now. They mentioned it. Maybe he had like a bullet in his shoulder. He was, you know, nursing the wound. We did hear something to that effect. The only people he usually bothers with are the real scum. The master criminal. Violent. But obviously, you know, he's a prosecutor and Ace Attorney, so he's gonna end up being, you know, he's a good guy. I think that describes basically every prosecutor except... Can I spoil the first game? Like, you know who I'm talking about. I think? Well, maybe not good guy, like sympathetic is the better word, because, you know, some of them aren't necessarily good guys, but master criminals, the violent ones. Did I read that line? Only people usually bothers with are the real scum. Handpicks his victim. Only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for sin. But you're not so man wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely? That's just my point, sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. This isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth or want a better freight. Maybe like he knows this is somehow connected to the big conspiracy going on that I still don't really know what it's about, but I know there's a conspiracy. Not exactly a minor impact, is it? There's got to be more to it. Some reason he's taking it. Really? What sort of reason, Inspector? You think I can tell you what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? What's with these chuny names? You'll have to ask him yourself. At tomorrow's trial. Are they gonna have to face the Reaper again? Lord of Darkness. Holmes. Will I have to ask him at tomorrow's trial too? Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, Mr. Natsume, you mentioned it. So that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodge. Here it's the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions. Faddle. Oh, dramatic music. Ah. The man's an amateur. Gets sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish before you know it. That should have solved the case. I mean, if you just keep doing that, it has to work eventually. Like another Netflix show I watched on Wednesday. It's basically how that goes, and it bugged at me. Basically, it's basically a mystery story, but she just goes around accusing people like I think the third time she finally gets it. Which, that's not how you do it! Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He's a great help to Scotland Yard, though. Gibble gabble. Ah. Ever seen this before? Oh yes, it's Rant's magazine. The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Holmes appeared. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, is fit to include several of the Yard's detectives and stories. So-called great detective makes a mockery of all of them. Ask anyone at the Yard, the misadventure to be included in any of Sherlock Holmes' tales at all. Well, there's an element of that. We work our socks off, every one of us. Be trumped by the public since that obnoxious detective. What if book is going to be added as evidence? Just saw the icon. Means it as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all of our criminals. Can't really be true, can it, Inspector? They are the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. Taking out on those French fries. Chips, sorry. Well, don't think we're gonna get any more useful information out of it. Hey, now, hold on. Can I make a suggestion? Oh, this. What is it? Well, seems to me that we must speak with him about this. By him, you mean Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, exactly. With those shining eyes. Can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Sherlock Holmes for all, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. What's his address? Like 2834 Baker Street? South Baker Street. Baker Street. What's the... No. I clicked on the YouTube song on accident. Baker Street, Holmes. 221B. You know, 8 looks like a B, so I got some of the numbers right. It is south. Is it not south? Because I made that part up. I've been thinking though of reading like Holmes, because I've talked about this before, but I think literally a decade ago, like 10, maybe even 11 years, I read like half of A Study in Scarlet. I didn't like it, and I've just kind of been adamant about not liking Holmes since. But like playing this game, it's kind of made me think, okay, maybe I should give it another shot. Like, and I did look it up. All 4 of like the original canon before the Great Hiatus, as they call it. Do they call it that? A character in Fate calls it that, so I'm assuming that's maybe a real thing. But basically, when Holmes originally died, they're all public domain now, so like I could just read them for free. Which that's how I've been reading detective novels nowadays. They're kind of a pain to track down, so just wait for them to go public domain. Like I think Van Dyne's 3rd novel went public domain this year. I haven't read it yet though. I've heard that one's actually good. Like, if you're familiar with detective fiction at all, Van Dyne's, you know, well-known name. His first book, very average. His second book, I hated. I'm still mad all these years later. I read it. I actually bought that one. I bought the first 2. Like, they're kind of pricey to get hard copies of, but like, the second one, there's a tool. Basically, the whole time through, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure this guy's the culprit. And I think I know the trick, but there's no evidence of the trick, because I'd seen the trick in an Agatha Christie novel, that exact same trick, right? Like, okay, so I guess it can't be that, but I still think this guy's the culprit. I just don't know how he did it. At the end, it's revealed, oh yeah, here's the trick, by the way. There's no evidence for the trick, but here's the trick. And I'm like, oh my god, I hate this. It's like, still mad. It's the Canary murder case. Anyway. Briggs have been an involved party in the case. You're just gonna ignore that? I hope not. I assure you. Not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again. Trouble is, no idea of the man's address. It's Baker Street! Okay, they didn't change that. How do you know that? In the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street. Most famous address in the world. They didn't have to change that. Nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. Try to find our way there before Susato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable. Hooray! I'll summon a carriage. We'll have a reunion already. The great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Okay, I'm gonna call it there. Hopefully I'll finish up the investigation bit next time. Have to overwrite that save. Okay. Yeah, so see you guys then. You're gonna meet Holmes and probably Wilson again, and probably Gina Lestrade, who is a Holmes reference, so she's probably gonna stay tied to them, I imagine. Yeah. You know, I am wondering if they kept Baker Street, why did they have to change Watson's? It's like, obviously, you know, Sherlock Holmes is very inspired by Sir Sherlock Holmes, right? But Dr. Watson was not a cute anime girl in the original novel. Unless I'm mistaken, he could have been a cute anime girl in the original novel, so why did got shot in Afghanistan? Maybe. What? I was thinking Afghanistan. What war did Britain fight in Afghanistan at the time? Hold on. I don't know why hit Watson that's a quarterback. That's not Holmes. Dr. Watson. We're having a history lesson, folks. This is just the Wikipedia episode. I know I was gonna end the story, but Second Anglo-Afghan War. Never heard of it. I guess that's more of a European. Okay, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.